attention.
This is 3D or 2D.com's Duh 3D Show.
Put on your 3D glasses now.
If you're wondering what the 3D stand for, they are discussion, debate, and the news. We hope that you enjoy the show. Get it? The show?
Duh.
Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to episode 106 of the 3D Show. I'm Adolf, and I have with me Classic Jake.
Howdy, folks.
And Jacob.
Hello, everybody.
And, we're in month 3 of no 3D movies, and we're going a little bit crazy. I don't know about y'all, but I'm going a little bit crazy waiting for more 3D content. But we got a whole bunch of news that popped up recently that we want to talk about. Are you going a little bit crazy, Classic Jake, or nah?
Well, yeah, no. I'm glad there's nothing to tempt me out into the COVID-ridden wasteland of the apocalypse in World War III.
Okay, crazy might be a strong word. I'm getting antsy.
Yeah.
I think I went full on crazy, so.
So let's start off with a bunch of movies from Warner Brothers getting release date changes. And we're going to go one by one, and we're going to talk about what the dates were and what the dates are going to be. And we'll just go through the list. And this is probably the biggest news of this. Alright, first up, Aquaman, The Lost Kingdom. It was originally going to release on December 16th, 2022. And now it is March 17th, 2023. Sad, but
I know.
expected.
Avatar.
Yeah.
Avatar. I mean, we mentioned this before. It was stupid to put it up next to Avatar. And we had no trailer for this, so we really had seen nothing about it. So this makes sense.
Watch Avatar get delayed to March.
I don't know. I think Avatar 2 has been done for like a year.
Yeah.
And 3,
Yeah.
I think. So I think they're done. I think they're working on finishing touches on the CG, but they have a whole lot of time to do that. So yeah, we haven't seen any trailers or teasers for Aquaman. We kind of saw like a little DC superheroes teaser thing, but that's now aged like milk. So
Yeah.
I mean, I'm definitely excited for Aquaman. I think the first one was a surprise. All of us were like, this is actually really good and way better than everyone expected the Aquaman movie to be. And it made a ton of money.
Yeah.
And December is kind of packed right now, so having to go to March is probably good to go. I mean, 3D wasn't as good as it probably could have been, so maybe that'll get better for Aquaman 2, The Lost Kingdom.
You mean you didn't enjoy the 3D for Aquaman? I thought that was pretty good.
I did.
Really?
I did, but I wanted it to be better. I thought it could be better. Maybe my theater was not as good as others. I don't know.
Oh, it was great.
So, we don't know like anything about this movie either. Like, what Lost Kingdom? Is there another kingdom besides Atlantis that has, gone? I don't know.
We'll find out
Yeah.
eventually.
And a year from this coming Friday?
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
Give us a convenient way to have a segue. We are recording this on March 12th, 2022 at approximately 12:25 p.m. Central Standard Time. As you're listening to this podcast, things may have changed, and since the time we're recording this, to the time we're editing this, to the time we're updating this, things may change. So that's our date stamp for right now. But yeah, it's going to be interesting how what we're going to see for Aquaman. Because now Aquaman, I'm going to go into the future and see what is going against it. And the Haunted Mansion is going to come out a week before from Disney, which I think that's like another reboot because they did that Haunted Mansion movie with Eddie Murphy, and that was pretty bad, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was pretty bad.
I've never seen it, or if I don't remember it.
Yeah, I don't remember seeing that either. I never watched it.
Yeah.
And this is coming out 2 weeks after Dungeons and Dragons movie. So March 17th ain't bad. And this is a week before John Wick Chapter 4 and Heart of the Lion. So I think March 17th is a pretty good date for Aquaman 2.
And DC's released movies in March before, like the Batman recently and Batman v Superman back in 2016.
Oh, and I'm trying to remember. I'm trying to think. I think the first Matrix came out in March, or it might have been February.
And
But it
300.
was in that. Yeah, because it was considered a dead season until the Matrix hit.
Yeah.
Now, I think we're in a weird place now where it doesn't really matter. If a movie is a good movie, people want to see it, they'll watch it. They don't care what month it comes out. Or it used to be, oh, it's summer movie. Oh, it's a holiday movie. No, it doesn't matter anymore. If you want to see a movie, you're going to go see it. So, yeah.
Well, yes and no. A lot of people are skipping the theater simply because they don't want to get sick or they don't want to spend the money. Because movie going is really expensive unless your theater chain offers a monthly movie pass.
We'll get to that in a little bit. That's one of the topics. March 31st, 1999 was the original release date for The Matrix 1.
So my memory is not completely shot.
All right, let's keep going to the next Warner Brothers movie, The Flash. Oh man, The Flash has been delayed again for another year. So this was supposed to come out on November 4th, 2022. Now it's scheduled to release on June 23rd, 2023. So that is 7 months of delay. That is a huge delay.
But, it's close to my birthday, so I'm happy for it.
Yeah, you'll probably get celebrate with the. So I'm guessing they must be finally decided to go with the Flashpoint, and they're got. I figure we're gonna hear after this movie comes out all sorts of stories of reshoots and just stories of development hell and.
I mean, it has been development hell for like 5 years.
Yeah.
So many directors, writers,
Yeah.
potentially Ezra Miller not returning.
Yeah.
This also is coming out, looking into the future in a decent time frame in June of 2023. It's going to be coming out a few weeks after Transformers Rise of the Beasts and a week before Indiana Jones 5. So it's actually a pretty decent time frame.
Yeah.
Almost a month after Little Mermaid, and Fast and Furious 10. So there's some competition beforehand, but end of June ain't that bad. So it should have plenty of room there to do as good as it's going to get. So it's always interesting to see where these new dates are going because, so that far ahead, it's hard to imagine movies that far ahead. I mean, it's hard to imagine 6 months from now. Just to be honest, with the war going on in Ukraine and COVID, it's just hard to predict the future and see that far ahead because we've been hurt so many times. So, I'm definitely excited for Flash movie. That movie we actually got a teaser for, and it actually looks cool. So, I'm still hyped for Flash movie, even though it's been development hell for years.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Now, it's also interesting to note is that the Flash movie, now that it's coming out in June, that's usually after the TV series ends has their summer break. So there might be something in the Flash TV show that leads into the Flash movie, or they might have a better scheduling to get Grant Gustin to be in this movie because of the scheduling with movies and such. So that might be a wild card to think about because I definitely think there's a lot of love for Flash movie, even though if the quality has dipped, I'm not going to deny that. But there's a lot of love for Grant Gustin as Flash on TV.
Yeah.
So it definitely would be smart to have him in this movie.
Yeah, and since Ezra Miller did a cameo on the TV show, fair is fair.
And, if DC wants to kind of copy, how Spider-Man did, yeah, this is the way you do it. So,
Yeah.
all right. Next up, another movie that's been development hell for years.
Decades. Over a decade. Black Adam.
Yeah. So this is going from July 29th, 2022 to October 21st, 2022. So it's still this year. Yay!
Yeah, they're putting another Dwayne Johnson movie in its slot. The DC Super Pets movie.
Yeah, we'll get to that. But
Uh-huh.
I'm still happy it's this year at least. It's not next year.
Yeah. Yeah, I would be pulling my hair out, what's left of it, and screaming. Because they made us wait long enough for Black Adam.
There's still no teaser trailer for that either. It's like, come on, guys.
Yeah, all we got was the Super Bowl ad. Hey, that wasn't shabby. And then that DC fandom concept trailer.
So this is going to come out a couple weeks after Spider-Verse Part 1 and a week after Halloween Ends, which I think those movies make okay enough money, but not great enough money. So I think it's actually in a good spot now compared to being the summer. And now it's interesting that another Shazam adjacent, or Black Adam and Shazam have a relationship in the comics. And now we're going to have Shazam come out in this year, which it was a 2023 movie, and it got pushed up 6 months. So Shazam was a June 2nd, 2023, and now it's a December 12th, 2022 movie.
I'm fine with that.
Yeah, I'm fine with that. That's just telling me they want to integrate Shazam and Black Adam more into each other.
Absolutely, and then that would be brilliant of them to do, considering the comic is right there. They are like enemies, and Black Adam is kind of not really become an enemy now. He's like an anti-hero.
Oh yeah, he's one of Otto Bender's best creations.
But they definitely have connections with Shazam, so they need to have. I'm guessing that Black Adam they might have a post-credit scene going to Shazam, and then Shazam have a post-credit scene with that there, and I think that's going to work itself out, and then the next Shazam movie will have Shazam and Black Adam. But I don't think Black Adam will be in this movie. But I don't know for sure. We don't know.
Yeah, we don't know. I mean, he might be in there. Heck, for all we know, Superman might actually make a real appearance, not just shoulders and below.
Or a in the shadows, like in Peacemaker TV show.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's definitely cool to see Shazam. I really loved Shazam when it came out, and it really is a lot of fun. And I don't remember the 3D being all that good. I don't remember. Was the 3D all that good in that one, or no? It was okay.
Okay. But it's still the best DCEU movie by far.
Well, that's debatable.
I don't know if I agree with that, but it is damn good. And
It is.
and I do recommend seeing it. And it also has the best PG-13 decapitation scene I've ever seen.
Yeah.
And
that.
It's just so funny and wholesome and sweet. I love Shazam.
I don't know if I'd use wholesome and sweet to describe a movie that has a monster biting off somebody's head, but hey, it is still an awesome movie.
Yes.
Well, I mean the part with the foster kids loving each other and the parents.
Oh yeah, the Shazamly, they're awesome.
Yeah, and Zachary Levi is wonderful in this.
Yep. This is the best part he's had since Chuck.
I say the best part he's had since Marvelous Miss Maisel as Amazon Prime, but still, it's a TV show, not a movie. But yeah, definitely excited for Shazam. We have no teaser for that either, so that hopefully we'll get something soon because that's coming out this year. So
yeah,
I hope it doesn't get steamrolled by Avatar 2 a week later.
Well, at least it's there a week later. It's not competing directly against there. So that is a big thing you mentioned, though, Jacob, that it is has some breathing room on December 12th. It's not going directly against it because Aquaman was going directly against it, and they blinked, and, part of it was because of CGI, but still, having a week before is a lot better than being the same day.
Yeah, but even with the way things are, even James Cameron's not a guarantee for box office anymore.
Yeah.
I mean, we are getting back to normal because it looks like the Batman is headed towards $1 billion.
Which is a little bit harder for that movie because it's a 3-hour movie, or just about 3-hour movie, and it is so dark. It's not something the kids you go to take the kids to. I love the movie, by the way. So
yeah, but parents but there's a lot of parents who still regard all comic book fare as kiddie fare. So
yeah, take the 3-year-old to Deadpool.
Yeah, I've seen that, and then listen to them scream at the management.
Yeah,
and then they point to the poster. They point the R out on the poster, and then Karen screams louder.
Yeah. Now, you mentioned this before, Superets. DC Superets is moved from May 20th to July 29th. And at least it's not going directly to HBO Max. I mean, that's good news there.
Yeah.
And hopefully it's 3D.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we still don't have confirmation on that one. And that one's an easy thing to have being 3D.
Yeah.
And we do have 2 trailers for that movie, which that's a good segue. We got a new trailer for that with a Batman, which I was kind of surprised when I went to go see Batman, and I was like, "Oh, this is a new trailer for DC Super Pets." Okay, cool.
I didn't get that trailer with mine. I just got the original trailer for DC Super Pets.
So what do you guys think of the new trailer?
I like it.
I do too. I think they're giving away too much, but hey, it's a great trailer. I'm really liking the changes they're making to some of the DC animals, because I've commented in the past how I had knee-jerk reactions to Ace becoming a pit bull and stuff. But I got over myself, and I thought it was funny. I was chuckling, and I just thought it was cute. I thought the animation was very nice. And it looks like Will Arnett's got competition for best theatrical animated Batman. Keanu knocked it out of the park in just a few moments he was in there as Batman. He was hysterical.
And it feels a little bit like a better version of The Secret Life of Pets, but with super powers.
Yeah, exactly. I was like going, this is what I wish The Secret Life of Pets was like.
Yeah, good.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
and have Kevin Hart.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this could be The Secret Life of Super Pets.
Yeah.
It's a better title than DC.
Yeah, exactly.
This looks fun. It looks fun. I'm not exactly sure what the plot is, but I'm game. It looks fun.
Yeah, I mean, it might be just a bunch of just vignettes or something, but it looks a million times better than just about any other animated kids film I've seen a trailer for in the last couple of years.
So the next movie, I don't know if it's a 3D movie or not. It might be. It's a kind of movie that could theoretically work in 3D, but I don't know. Apparently it's a new Wonka movie. It's going from March 17th to December 15th, 2023. I think the Wonka brand has been really tainted since the last remake with that came out, was it 2003, 2004 or something?
2005.
2005.
Yeah. Well, in our household, the Wonka brand has been tainted for a long time. Because have you ever eaten any of their chocolate? Or their other candy? It's terrible.
I have some appreciation for Charlie and the Chocolate Factory.
I love that movie.
I mean, I do feel like Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory is a better movie overall, but Charlie, I feel like, is trying too hard, and like some things are good, some things are bad.
Yeah, you're talking about the Tim Burton movie is, I don't know. It's
that's when he got to be Tim Burton at his worst.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I mean,
and the original is just so awesome. I mean, the damn thing is like one of the cool. It's a musical slasher movie, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
like it's awesome.
I appreciate how Charlie said no, and the new one and the newer one, because that makes sense. I wouldn't. He's like, I'm a kid. I don't know how to run a damn business. It's like, yes, and then he's crazy. He's obviously crazy. So why would you want to take that? And I appreciate that, and I like some of the stuff they kind of redid. But I, you're right though, Jacob, that this is Tim Burton in his worst. So it's just like, I like parts of it. I like some parts of it, but some parts are trash. It's just like, you can have some good parts in a bad movie. So this new movie, being Christmas next year movie, basically now, and I don't know. We don't know anything about this besides the new Wonka actor, which, who is the new Wonka actor? I don't remember.
Timothy Chalamet.
Yeah. I mean, he works, I guess, visually.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, he seems like he's pretty much the Warner Brothers to-go-to guy now.
Yeah.
Do you think this will be a 3D movie or not? Or no?
I think it's about 50-50.
I agree. 50-50. I mean, it definitely has potential. Like, it could definitely be cool in 3D if they, really think about it. If they, I think there's a lot of interesting scenes that could work really visually interesting, more in 3D. But it's just, you got to really think about it.
Well, they're putting it in Christmas, so they have faith in it.
Yeah.
But what people need to realize is when, and I think it's when, not if, Discovery takes over Warner Brothers, they may shift all this stuff back, or they may switch them up again.
Yeah.
Unless this shift is at Discovery's request, which Discovery's not supposed to be talking to Warner Brothers yet. But hey, who knows? It's all above my pay grade.
Yeah. We got one more date for Warner Brothers. No, this was a movie that we knew about, but like we didn't know a date until now. Which is the Meg 2, The Trench. Now we have a date for August 4th, 2023, which makes perfect sense. Summer movie. I didn't watch the Meg. You guys watched it? You guys are excited for a sequel or no?
5 years too late.
Yeah. And I'm like going, so is this the Trench movie that they were going to make as an Aquaman spinoff, and now it's going to be a Meg spinoff?
That would be hilarious if they retcon it to be part of the DC Comics.
Yeah. And then they could get Jason Statham to be Mr. Freeze somehow.
Yeah. Yeah, and he could freeze the sharks.
Oh man, that would be epic if that's a better idea than what this movie probably is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they could be the shark blizzards.
I mean, I think that would be a lot of fun to have that idea combined, but I don't know anything about this. Now, you both thought the movie was okay, but not great, right? The first Meg?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's okay.
Did it leave itself open for a sequel?
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, well, the Meg 2 is apparently coming out next March, or next 8 August.
But hey, if you want a crazy shark movie in 3D, Jaws 3. Right.
Which I think recently got a new Blu-ray release. So
yeah, it's not restored, but the 3D is still awesome, even with the baked-in flaws and stuff. It was nice of Universal to at least give us that much.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's keep going here. Jacob, what do you want to talk about next?
Oh, let's talk about. We already mentioned the Bad Guys 2 trailer yet.
No, we haven't.
Okay, let's do that.
All right, so we actually missed talking about this when we did the 2022 potential 3D preview. And I did edit it and put it in there. But The Bad Guys is an animated movie from Illumination, where it's or DreamWorks. Illumination?
Yeah, DreamWorks.
Okay.
DreamWorks.
Well, it looks like Illumination.
Yeah, everybody's starting to ape their style a little bit because they're successful.
They make them cheaper.
Yeah, and they make money. So, and the kids seem to like that style. I really dug it in this trailer, the style, and the other trailer for The Bad Guys. Of course, my eyes rolled because the Billie Eilish song is way overplayed.
I get it. But, I mean, Sam Rockwell's the lead character. I love Sam Rockwell, so...
Yeah, Galaxy Quest, Ride or Die.
Yeah.
Now, the movie itself is just your typical talking animal movie, but now you're following the bad guys, which are these kind of predators that are bad, and they're it's kind of like a heist movie with animals for kids.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. It seems like this is not a movie made for kids. This looks like a movie that was made for adults to drag kids to.
I don't know. I mean, because it seems like it's going to have, like, because there's a thing in the second trailer where we're going to pretend we're going to be good, but then I guess the wolf
be bad.
Being...
Yeah,
both of the trailers kind of gave away too much. So I kind of feel like I know almost all the movie now. It feels like The Thing 2 again.
But, I mean, it's not as egregious as that, but...
Yeah.
Almost. So, yeah, we don't need a third trailer. We're good. We've gotten a lot here, and we know the game.
Yeah, and I think Smalls are going to have a lot of... if they're really going to go, we're doing this, to do that, I think Smalls are going to have trouble following that. Like I said, I still think this was made more for adults, but to be family friendly.
This reminds me a little bit of Fantastic Mr. Fox, which I love that movie.
Yeah?
Yeah. But that one's probably better than this one.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
A stop-motion movie by Wes Anderson that is hilarious and love it. Love that movie.
And texting to you, Adolf. That's probably why you have a slight favoritism to it.
Yeah.
I appreciate Wes Anderson. I know he's kind of weird, but I like him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so do I.
And I just love George Clooney in this. It's so good. These animated movies from Wes Island good too. Like Island of Dogs? That was really great.
Yes. Yeah, that was a great one.
I've never seen that one yet, but I want to.
Oh, it's worth it. It's worth tracking down.
It's sad that wouldn't come out in 3D because that would have looked great in 3D.
Yeah.
All right. So from one kind of animal to a fantastic kind of beast, we got a second trailer for Fantastic Beasts and the Secrets of Dumbledore. What do you guys think of this?
The Secrets of Dumbledore.
I don't care about the wizarding world anymore.
Yeah, I'm done.
I mean, partially because J.K. has just become a crazy kook with this, and I don't know what's going on with her mind, but
it's fantasy Star Wars, like Wizard Star Wars. It's too much marketing, too much games and stuff.
Yeah, and she goes on her turf rampage just in time to promote the new product.
You know, she could say, I don't necessarily understand it, but fine. And just leave it at that. She doesn't have to keep prying in. She keeps coming back and just leave it alone. Let this wound heal. And she just won't do it. And I don't understand it at all. You could disagree and not be, agreeable. And but she's not being that way.
Or just not say anything.
Yeah. Okay, Fantastic Beasts, Secrets of Dumbledore. I kind of feel like the Fantastic Beasts are like the sequel trilogy of Star Wars, where Disney had no plan at all, and they're just making stuff up as they go along. That's how I feel about the Fantastic Beasts movies, where they don't have a plan to how to really make this. Where the Harry Potter movies are based on a book. These are based on the writings of J.K., which she is, I think, still writing these movies. I think, or still directing them or something. I don't remember how that works.
Yates, who's directing them, and
David Yates is directing.
But Stephen Kloves returned from like the previous Harry Potters to write this one, so it should theoretically be better.
Yeah. And Mads Mikkelsen looked great. His Grindelwald.
Yeah, it is kind of weird. I don't think they explained it in the trailers, and
nope.
But
they just drop him in there with no explanation.
And it's really heavily going into, Harry Potter reference. It's like, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Remember Hogwarts? There it is. You're in Hogwarts.
Yeah. So, this is the third Fantastic Beasts movie, and the second one didn't do that well. I mean, it did okay, but I feel like a lot of Warner Brothers felt like it was disappointing to them. So I'm hoping that they get their act together and fix this and make this the last one. I know they were contracted to have 5 movies. I really hope they just, make this one best and drop it and move on. But I know Warner Brothers is desperate to have another big franchise. So.
Yeah, well, if this does as well as the other 2, this will be the last one.
Yeah. Thank God.
All right. So the next story here. Now, Jacob, you kind of got me into this, and I'm gonna give you total credit for this because I didn't assume this movie is a 3D movie, and I didn't even know this trailer came out until it came out. So tell me about Bullet Train, and is this a 3D movie?
Okay. Well, Bullet Train seems to be based on a book in Japan, and it's just like a whole bunch of assassins on a train battling over a MacGuffin. But yeah, it just I was looking on IMDb one day, and I just happened to see also going to be released in 3D. So I mean, it's not official, but there's that.
Yeah.
I mean, this is an all-star cast with Brad Pitt, Sandra Bullock, Lady Gaga.
Yeah.
So it looks a lot of fun. And
The
leg.
Yeah. This looks like what he made instead of because he was rumored to be doing an English remake of Train to Busan. This looks like what he was working on in reality, and the other was just a smokescreen.
This almost feels like it's going to be an Atomic Blonde spinoff, almost, even though it's not. But
yeah,
because he did Atomic Blonde, and that was a really good movie. And this one seems crazier, but also better.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I definitely hope the trailer itself looked like it could be cool in 3D. So it's like, okay, yeah, I'm game. The 3D depth and the train stuff, that could be a lot of fun. And it definitely looks fun and fresh, like something different.
The Wolverine 3D, whenever they had that bullet train fight sequence.
Was that good in 3D? I don't remember that movie in 3D.
I think that was the best part in 3D. But yeah, it's been a while since I've seen the movie in 3D.
Yeah, there were some decent scenes in 3D in that.
But definitely it's something that people complain about 3D movies only being kids' movies, animated movies, or comic book movies. Well, here we go. Bullet Train will be just an action movie that's fun. And, we can't 100% say it's 3D because I don't know who edits IMDb. So, maybe it is a 3D movie, but maybe it doesn't get released. Maybe that 3D is only for China. We don't know.
Yeah.
That would be sad.
Mm-hmm.
We don't know if the 3D is going to be for Europe, and we don't get it in the US. I don't know. And that's where it's like, I hope it is 3D everywhere. That definitely will be fun, and it's a fun new property. So I never read the book. I don't know anything about this, and it just looks like a fun movie. So, yeah, I'm definitely interested in this, and thank you, Jacob, for doing this investigative reporting. define
Oh,
this.
no problem. No problem. But like, if it comes to be, I hope it's I'm right.
Yep. And if you're not, it's Brad Pitt's fault.
I mean, I still want to see the movie though. It looks really good.
Yeah, this looks like one worth risking my life to go see.
Yeah.
Sometimes you just want to have fun in theaters, and this looks like that kind of movie. So.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly.
All right. Classic Jake, what do you want to talk about next? You got some controversial ones.
Yeah. I think we're going to start with one of the reasons there was probably one of the delays in Black Panther 2. Let's talk about Ryan Coogler's trip to the bank.
All right.
God.
Explain that, because just in case people don't know.
Yes, Ryan Coogler, the director, was detained and accused of being a bank robber in January of Bank of America. Basically, it looks like all he was doing was banking while black.
Yeah, they said that they tried his because he was wearing a mask and sunglasses, but that's still no bueno.
Yeah, especially since if I had walked into that bank, I would have been because of COVID, I would have had sunglasses on because of the sun, and I would have had a mask on.
Yeah.
And I doubt I would have been detained, roughed up, and bruised.
And it's
and humiliated.
$12,000. They said that's a high amount.
Yeah, it's just bad, and I'm not going to defend Bank of America.
Yeah, Bank of America can go eat it. Yeah, they owe him big time. They should apologize to him for the rest of their existence.
They're probably going to hire him to do some commercials to give him a paycheck.
I don't know how they're going to fix that, but yeah, it's just bad. It's just bad.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, not a good look.
Bad PR for Bank of America, bad situation, and I feel bad for him. I mean, he was just doing his banking. That's fine.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it's who knows what. I mean, it's just such a bad thing, especially on top of all the other bad things we're going through.
Yeah, I mean, you're not going to go into the bank unless you really need to.
Yeah.
I mean, you could use the ATM or the drive-through banks pretty easily for most situations, but if you need to go into the bank, you need to go into the bank.
Well, at least they were lucky they had banks open. I mean, I haven't even been able to get into an ATM in months, unless I want to wait 4 or 5 hours.
Yeah, so here on GQ, it says that he was trying to withdraw $20,000 in cash, and he wanted to be discreet. Which, hey, he's a director. Now, I don't think, definitely Black Panther was a huge success, but I don't know if many directors would be really known if you walk down the street. Oh, I know that director. Very, very few. or that, know.
And Ryan Coogler is one of them. I mean, certain directors, like David Lynch would get recognized walking around. Tim Burton would probably still get. James Cameron.
There's a couple.
I mean, Martin Scorsese. Yeah, George Lucas. Spike Lee.
I mean, you could spot Spike Lee from a mile away.
Yeah, exactly. So, man's trying to do his business during COVID, and he gets harassed.
Just messed up.
Poor training and
racism, sort of.
Yep.
Oh, I would say it's definitely racism.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just bad overall. And these next topics are all controversial, or except for this, one more, but it's just bad stuff going on right now. Just bad vibes.
So let's get the bad stuff out of the way, and let's talk about all the tea that Pixar has been dropping since they're obviously tired of all their movies going to direct to streaming.
Yeah.
Pixar said that they have put in many of their movies gay affection, and Disney has censored it. And they have we're going to go ahead and change that, and not because just because we can. And it's I know Pixar people are really kind of angry at Disney because I know they're part of Disney, but there's their own studio that is in Disney kind of thing. But still, their movies have been going direct to Disney Plus, and they work their asses off making great content. And
yeah,
I don't think I have faith enough in that Pixar is smart enough how to handle gay affection in animated movies that they would not make it too gross or anything. I think most kids now are totally okay with that. Obviously, there's some parts of the world where are not okay with that. Which,
Watch the
yeah, we're not gonna. We'll just say there's a lot of parts of the world that are not as progressive and are very against gay people.
Yeah,
you can figure out which countries those are.
Yeah, and that's why I've applauded some of the subtle stuff Marvel's put in their movies, because most of their stuff will actually get through a censor. So there will be a lot of people in countries that all gay scenes are pretty much banned, and they'll probably get to see themselves represented in a movie for the first time.
Mm.
But if they did something more overt, it would be no bueno, and they would censor it, and so these people wouldn't see the representation. And it's also subtle enough that people who aren't in the know, it'll just go right by them, and no harm, no foul.
Yeah, and I imagine there might be, little things that you may not even notice or care about, like kind of like how the scene with the Eternals, where they had a gay couple and they had a kiss, and that was that. It was 5 seconds and not that big a deal. And
yeah, and only a couple of countries trimmed it.
So it's understandable to a degree, but I don't forgive Disney for it because it's not right.
I know that. What do you think Human Rights Campaign returned the check Bob Chake gave them? They said they wanted them to do something, not just write them a small check.
And then Disney's kind of like talking about a Florida bill or a Florida law that recently became about schools not teaching about gays at all.
Can't even mention it.
And it's just biology. It's just
and don't even get me started about that crap in Idaho. Life in prison for helping a trans person transition. I mean, this won't even survive Supreme Court look. I mean, even the right-wing Supreme Court would probably veto that down. This is just strictly... So. Yeah, but you don't know.
Yeah.
But this is pretty much just something to get the base, to fire up the hate base to come out and vote in the midterms.
Yeah, and that's happening in Texas, too, with Governor Abbott saying that the whole thing with conversion is like a child, was it abuse or something? Come on.
Yeah, they're trying to say a transition is a conversion and it's abuse.
Yeah, it's just ridiculous how much they're hating on trans.
I know, it must be shameful to live in Texas.
Yeah, it is. And I live in Texas, and there's a lot of times where I roll my eyes. It's like, oh.
Yeah. Oregon gets pretty bad too.
With the hatred.
People are surprised that the whole state isn't Portland.
It just live and let live. Why is that so hard to be decent?
Yeah.
Because you're being Christian.
I got a word for those people. You ain't being very Christian.
Yeah, Christ said to love thy neighbor. So.
Exactly. Judge not.
I mean, I really don't imagine that any Pixar movie, like, they kind of hinted that in Luca, the boys were gay, but, like, that's such a reach. Maybe that they were, like, maybe they had something else that was a cut or something, but
yeah.
I feel Pixar is so smart and so clever and so well done with their stories. They can have it, and it won't be a big deal. It won't be a big impact, and I guess I'm thinking most people won't care, and most people won't protest. They're not going to have something completely gross. They still want to have a PG rating for most Pixar animated movies, if not PG or G. So they're definitely not going to aim for PG-13, or they're not going to have a goatsy moment, for God's sakes.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
so people hold hands or give a little kiss. Big whoop.
Yeah. Exactly.
And most. What was that?
It's like people just say it's offensive to me seeing the gays getting equal rights.
Well,
I
give them. I'm all for giving them a grapefruit spoon, and they can gouge their eyes out, so they don't have to look anymore.
I can still hear it.
Well, I got some pencils here. I can take out your eardrums. Oh, we're getting too dark here, but damn, I'm really tired of these people who think they want everybody else to die for their comfort. I mean, what the hell?
It's just so disgusting, and it's just they lost the Supreme Court with gay marriage and lost the argument with gay marriage, and now they're like, who can we hate now? Because it's not politically viable to hate gays anymore, or directly hate gays. So, all right, let's go pick the trans people up, or it's just like, come on, stop it, just stop it.
Yeah, exactly. Quit being bullies and picking on people.
That's how they make themselves feel better, though.
Oh, if they want to make themselves feel better, we could. I think the rest of us should set up a Kickstarter, earn them some money, and we can ship them to the Ukraine. I'm sure the Ukrainians would appreciate more bodies to throw at the Russians.
Give them a Kyle Rittenhouse.
Oh yeah, Kyle Rittenhouse wants to be a badass and shoot people. Him and who's that George idiot who shot Trayvon Martin? Yeah, let's send Zimmerman. Let's send him too.
I'm defending my son at home.
Yeah, we could put body cams on them and watch them get killed by Russian troops.
It's just ugly out there. Just be decent to one another. Just love one another. Be decent. If you don't have to agree with them, you could just be decent. Be like, okay, I could disagree and be agreeable.
And I'm just kidding about sending them, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't really want to send them. I don't want anybody, especially Ukrainians, getting shot by Russian troops.
Yeah.
But the Russian troops just go home. Your leader's mad.
Mm-hmm.
And it's Putin that's doing all this crap. It's not Russian government or people.
Yeah,
there's who are falling for this shit too, and it sucks.
Yeah. Like, don't mistreat your local Russian businesses. Because where I live, there's a lot of Russian businesses, and these assholes are vandalizing them. Stop it.
Yeah, it's not their fault.
They're not invading the Ukraine. In fact, a lot of them fled Russia to live here to get away from Putin and leaders like him.
Yeah, so leave that alone. Just be decent. Just love one another. Just be decent to one another. Live and let live. Why is that so hard?
Yeah. I mean, it's a lot easier to love somebody than hate them.
Mm-hmm.
Even if you're in the majority, it's just love the minority. Whatever minority that may be. Just okay. You know what? I don't agree with you. I still love you. It's all good. Why can't you be that way? Just be decent.
Yeah, exactly. We don't have to agree.
All right. We got one more controversial one, but before we get to that controversial one, we're gonna do a little one that's just interesting. We got a director for Deadpool 3, which is Sean Levy, which is the director of Free Guy and Adam Project. And
and Stranger Things.
I'm 100% in favor of this. I think this is going to be great.
I hope so. They got the original writers back too, which is really awesome too.
Mm-hmm. And remember, this is Disney. I don't think there's a snowflake's chance in hell they're going to let them do an R-rated movie.
It's been confirmed. Kevin Feige said that it's the only film that's going to be R-rated.
So it's probably going to be a Fox release.
Maybe.
But with the Marvel titles, that could be interesting. And if it is R, oh boy, this is going to be fun.
Well, I mean, Disney has, in that way, Disney has been decent, and now I think aren't all the Netflix Defender shows on Disney Plus now? I think, right?
Yeah, for
And that's
now they're getting massive complaints about it from about every male and female Karen subscribed.
But they have now ratings that you could have adult content and it's okay, and so they're trying to say we can do this and you can have adult stuff. Not everything has to be aimed at
I
PG
know
13.
the shows on Loki and WandaVision and the Falcon and the Winter Soldier are not suitable for tweens and younger.
Yeah, I mean that
And I think they're kind of their maturity level and content is probably higher, which is why and more complicated than the Netflix shows. And they're mad at the Netflix shows because they use drop an occasional minor profanity.
well,
I mean,
Jessica Jones does have a lot of sex scenes, so
yeah, but
just put the
it's,
ratings
it's,
out. Block the
it's
shows for the kids.
but they're PG-13 sex scenes.
Yeah, and they do have that. They do have the ability to do that. To now you have parental controls. If you don't want your kid watching it, then you can.
Your TV has parental controls on it.
But I gotta work. I can't do it.
It's like 5 steps.
Yeah.
Oh, that's too many steps.
So,
or why don't you behave like most parents and just ignore what your kids do until it causes a problem and then go broke sending them.
Kids are playing GTA 5 at the age of 10.
Yeah, and you're worried about them watching a Netflix Marvel show.
I mean, The Punisher is pretty brutal. It is pretty violent.
Yeah, your kid is probably freaking out because they're figuring they're going to die in the Ukraine and when they get drafted in 5 years.
Or they're thinking about World War III. So
yeah, exactly.
Exactly. I think that they're definitely going to have Deadpool 3 be a R-rated movie, and hopefully be Deadpool 3D, and that would be awesome. I think Deadpool will be a lot of fun in 3D.
They could poke a lot of fun at the format.
Yeah, I would love to see that.
I mean, it's so set up, too. At the end of Deadpool 2, with the time machine that he has, basically he messed up his reality, and he's in Marvel Cinematic Universe. There it is. The whole movie right there is him.
Oh, yeah. That's why we have the cinematic universe. Deadpool accidentally created it with time travel.
I mean, it's rumored that he's supposed to be in Doctor Strange, too, so we'll see.
Yeah.
I saw that there's a shade of glass that if you zoom into it, it kind of looks like Deadpool's eyes. It's like, oh, come on. But yeah, I think Deadpool 3, I'm super hyped for Deadpool 3. I feel like Deadpool 2 is not as good as Deadpool 1, but still very good. It's just not
a better movie than Deadpool 1. Me.
That's just you.
I thought they were both awesome in their own right.
Yeah.
Maybe I had too much hype for it, but still, I have faith that Deadpool 3 will be as good as it should be, and it will be R-rated, and maybe they'll have fun with that, and maybe he'll get bleeped, and they're like, "What the hell?"
What the?
Well, Free Guy was a lot better than it should have been.
Oh yeah.
The 3D could have been better.
Yeah, but we were lucky to get that. That was like a surprise gift of the gods.
Yeah. So, I mean, it definitely, have some content's not going to be kids. The scene with with the shield and the blood, I was like, oh my god.
Yeah.
Captain America and Winter Soldier, or Winter Soldier and I get that name mixed up, but yeah, that was jarring. And I've heard that some younger people will see WandaVision and they're like, this is boring, and they're just too young to understand the depth of having to deal with trauma of losing your loved one. So there's a different kind of maturity.
It's not built. It wasn't designed for kids.
So And of course, all the racist stuff that they're dealing with in that show as well. With it's there. It's adult themes. It doesn't have adult themes don't necessarily mean titties and f bombs. So,
Yeah,
I mean, I
and
mean,
and well, a lot of people were really complaining about that. It's like, how dare you have the real world in my escapism entertainment?
I mean, if you go back, there's some really dark stuff in like a Superman comic. Like the original one, he actually kills people. He actually kills
Yeah,
mobsters. In
yeah,
Superman #1, he kills mobsters. It's like, all right, I had enough with you, and just kills them. It's like, oh, okay.
yeah. Well, yeah, comics were awesome. I mean, decapitations and all sorts of cool stuff until the comics code ruined a good time for everybody. Of course, now there's no comics code.
So it's going to be interesting. I'm definitely excited for Deadpool 3, and I think that's going to work out really well. And it's just exciting to see where that's going to go. And if that will be an introduction to X-Men, or there's so much, it's so rich there that he could just play with that and have Deadpool comment on it. And,
Hmm.
those fourth wall breaks could be a lot of fun of him being
Yeah,
in the MCU. And it's okay to have adult stuff in the MCU. It's okay to have that. It's fine. It's part of growing as a franchise. It can't always have this. And looking at upcoming the show, when is that supposed to come out? Is it like next week? I think. Moon Knight. That's pretty dark. That's pretty out there. It's not going to be for
hmm,
kids.
yeah. And it looks like they're fixing a lot of the things that were kind of problematic in the comics.
So yeah, yeah, it's going to be interesting. And the last topic here is a big one. Is going to be one of the most controversial ones here, because it affects every single person going to see movies in America. And most of our people that are listening to this podcast are Americans. And most people that go to the website are Americans. So this is a big deal. AMC started talking about this for the Batman, and now Cinemark is also talking about it for future movies, and I'm assuming that other chains will follow through. And essentially, it is surge movie ticket pricing, which is for movies that are popular or big, they will add additional fee just because they want to. Because they want to make more money. So, they're going to stick it to you because, oh, you want to see Batman? Oh, it's going to be a $5 more charge. You know, yeah, yeah.
I mean, you
And
already pay a fee to pre-order tickets.
Yeah, they charge you a fee to use the app. They make you pay a monthly fee to get into a VIP line.
Yeah.
The theatrical model isn't going to survive this. They've already got ticket prices to the point of obscenity. I mean, I joke it's cheaper to be a drug addict on taking heroin than it is to go to the movies on a regular basis.
so there's been some people saying, well, how is this different from matinees? It's a big difference because there's a standardized price scheme where if you see a movie before prime time, which is like 7 or 6 p.m., depending where you go, you have
Mm-hmm.
a price, and that price will be for every movie. And if you see it on, 6 or 7 p.m., every price will be the same. So, for
Mm-hmm.
example, let's have some real world examples here. If I go see The Batman today, it's going to cost, $7 or whatever. And if I go see the Uncharted movie, that'll be $7 as well, the same time. It's not going to be charging extra because Batman's newer. Now, if I go earlier in the day, 11 o'clock or 12 o'clock in the morning or whatever, 11 o'clock in the morning or 12 o'clock p.m., the middle of the day when it's low busy, you'll have matinee prices, which are cheaper. And that. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
cool. If you go before 5 o'clock, you'll get a cheaper price. And that's
Mm-hmm.
cheaper price for
Or the
all.
first show, because there's several chains that are now only doing first show matinee.
Now, so what your prices are going to be. That's not
Mm-hmm.
going to fluctuate in how big the movie is.
Mm-hmm.
And That's where the difference is. You're not going to pay more to see Moonfall opening weekend versus seeing
Yeah.
Uncharted.
Oh, I can see this biting them in the ass hard, because they're going to have to, before a movie comes out, decide if it's going to be a big hit or not. Because could you imagine the last Terminator movie, if they surged priced it, they would have really lost their shirts.
Oh yeah, and in the article from Hollywood Reporter, they said, well, it also has the potential to have lower prices for movies. No, it's not going to do that. We all know
No.
that's don't be stupid. They're not going to charge less.
Yeah,
because
I mean, there's a few chains of, like, Regal started doing a Tuesday for $5, but but there's so many restrictions to it, you might as well not have it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're not going to have the Batman be $2.
Yeah, exactly. I can't go see the Batman for $5.
That's not going to be that way in a month, because there's got to be a point of return, because movie studios need to get their cut, and if they get lower cut, they're going to be pissed. You're like, no, I don't want you to be in theaters. I want to get the same amount of money. So that price.
Well, theaters are in a hard spot. If I was them, I would start opening myself up to booking, because they're supposed to be independent, right? So they should tell the studios, fine, you want your movie to play here, pay us rent. I mean, they really need to turn the model around, because the theaters aren't owned by the studios anymore, and haven't been in almost probably everybody listening to this podcast's lifetime. But the studios still act like they're their property, and the theaters exist at their whim. And I guess they were happy with the scraps they were getting. But I mean, Disney, some theater chains, Disney gets like 80% of the first 2 weeks. That's ridiculous. How can a business survive with only making 20% off the top of the most popular period of a movie's life, the first 2 weeks of its release?
And American theaters have pretty much been carrying the movie industry for the last year and a half, because a lot of parts of the world are still under lockdown, and they lock down theaters. So you can't go to the theaters to see the Batman in certain parts of the world right now, where you can see it in America. So they are really depending on the box office in America to help prop up. I mean, did China ever get Eternals? I don't think they ever did. So they really are depending on America to help them right now. And last year was a really good box office year, all things considered. And they, if they're going to do this in this year, that's going to piss off a lot of people. And a lot of people are going to be like, you know what? Screw this. I can wait a month and watch it at home. No problem. Whatever. And you don't have to worry about spending $20 for a soda and popcorn that you can make for yourself at home for $2 tops. Oh yeah. I when I went to see Batman, I got a Coke and a popcorn, and that was like $12. Yep. And the popcorn was worse than the popcorn I can make at home, because I could get Orville Redenbacher microwave popcorn, and that tastes better than going to the movie theater and getting popcorn there. I was like, come on.
Ow.
And then I could get, a 32-ounce Coke, for $2 or something. It's so overpriced. But I understand that's how they make their profit.
Yeah, well, yeah, movie theaters have basically become high-priced fast food restaurant.
Yeah, and that's understandable. But if they're going to be playing this game, it's going to just, I think people are going to get pissed. And this is new. This is something that, people already complain about inflation on different things they need. And nobody needs to see a movie. Nobody needs.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, where I live, gas is almost $6 a gallon.
Depending where you live, how you live, you may need gas to get to your work or whatever. You need to buy milk. You need to buy food.
Yeah. Yeah, and the city just shit-canned my bus stop, so I don't even have the option of taking the mass transit.
So, yeah, the movies, if they're going to start putting inflation in the movies like this, I don't think that's a good idea. I think it's a terrible idea, and then it's just going to make everyone mad, and you're just going to get like, oh, you're going to screw me over? Well, screw you. I'll pirate this. And
I mean, also
exactly.
that on top of 3D and premium large format screens with that fee.
oh yeah. So how much more is this going to damn cost? It's going to cost like $30 to watch a movie in 3D on opening day in IMAX. I'm not going to pay that. I'm sorry.
It was already that when IMAX. Heck, they were even promoting, hey, we don't do 3D IMAX anymore, so you'll get to save $350. This is my middle finger comes out.
I know in like New York and LA, I think I read that with surge pricing and the higher cost in movies there, going to see Batman an opening weekend was about $20. Ridiculous. That's how much the Blu-ray costs.
Yeah. And you can watch the Blu-ray as many times as you want.
And it's coming to streaming in April.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So yeah, I'm joking around when I posted this. What are they going to do next? Make us pay for parking at the theater?
There's places that already happens. There's theaters in Portland. If I wanted to see a movie, I would have to pay at least $5 in parking.
All right. Yeah. Are toilets going to now have Apple Pay and Samsung Pay there, so you have to pay for your toilets?
Hey, last time I was in LA, I had to pay money to use a restroom in a fast food.
Well, okay, fine. You want to have oxygen to breathe. Well, that's the oxygen fee. You can also bring your own oxygen tank if you want.
I know, we're getting ridiculous, because last 20 years I've been seeing them putting up little mini billboards in public restrooms.
Yes.
Jacob, if you do you want to have a good seat or the busted ass seat in the front row? Well, if you want to have a good seat in the middle, that's going to be an extra fee on top.
Are you handicapped? Well, you're going to have to pay a fee for that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The movies over 2 hours. This is one they used to do. We're going to tack 50 cents for every half hour. It's beyond 2 hours.
I mean, what's next? They're gonna have like the little news crawl underneath the movie, and always have right there Pepsi and all these different kinds of ads.
Oh, are they going to interrupt the movie with ads like they do television? I'm like going, it's bad enough they put ads in front of the movie.
Oh, you know how some movies are not like they have a wider aspect ratio? Well, instead of having black there, you'll have ads there, of course.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh, and then, if your seat, you have to pay for your seat, so you have to, if you want cushioning, that's the extra fee. Or
the curtains have advertisements on there. This curtain brought to you by Pepsi.
Yeah.
I mean, having the ads before the movies is bad enough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So many ads.
Mm-hmm. And then they'll have them scrolling on the top and the bottom of the screen.
Yeah, that's what I was saying, yeah. It's ridiculous.
Did you see the Morbius trailer, honestly?
And I understand if they actually made the ads cinematic, I could respect that. I could, you know what? Okay, sure. But it's the same ads you see on TV. Why not?
Or they make all movies where the walls and all the posters and stuff are green screened, and then each market can impose their own advertising.
Now that's something that's definitely going to happen.
Yeah.
I mean, we're playing around, but that one, I can guarantee in 20 years from now, if the world doesn't end, that's going to happen.
Yeah, if we still have electricity and stuff, yeah, they're going to do that.
They will have green screen posters and signs, and that will have those ads will be marketed. And Sony is guilty of this crap. They do this crap in their movies all the time with product placement of Sony brands of TVs and phones and crap. And that's just, it's easy to do that to have that for future movies. Oh, let's look at this. The billboards change for each market, and each time you watch theater, it's just ridiculous. And people just started going back to the movies. going back to the cinema, starting feeling comfortable going to the cinema. After 2020, it was, people were like, okay, maybe we're not going to even bother with the cinema anymore. And now this is terrible. This is a horrible idea. And
Yeah. Yeah. They've pretty much guaranteed that movie theaters are going to go the way of video arcades. Very niche market.
I can imagine, especially if you have a family, it gets really expensive to take your family to go see a movie. Just assume 2 parents and 2 kids. That's a lot of money. And then on 3D, and then if you have the parents there or the guardians, and they're like, oh, there's a surcharge because Timmy wants to see, Finding Nemo 3 or whatever. They're gonna be like, screw this. I'm not gonna watch this.
When they go, this is gonna be $200. F this.
Yeah, because kids want popcorn, they want drinks, they want candy, they want to play at the arcade.
This is just bad.
Yeah, awful. And then amusement parks are going, yes, we're now competitive, price wise.
The busted seat one is just like, you have theaters that have busted seats and you don't know until you're there.
Oh, I'm old enough to remember when movie theaters had wooden chairs that folded and they weren't drink holders, so you had to put your drink and your popcorn between your legs.
Oh yeah, I remember. There's some theaters that have that, and it is uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And I know my IMAX, there's a local IMAX that is apparently the biggest IMAX in Texas, and they still have crappy seats. And it's like, come on, you have a laser projection system, laser beams to project the movie, but you still don't have reclining seats? Come on.
Yeah.
Come on.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like the cheapest theater I go to has reclining seats, and they got alcohol.
Oh, the reclining. If you want to recline, that's going to be a new fee.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
They should just, realize, AMC, after the short stock deal, they just got too big for their britches, and hopefully their stock sinks again. I hope.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I hope
I don't think they're going to get I don't think they're going to get rescued again.
I hope the Redditors that got AMC stock are calling them up. It's like, I'm not taking this crap. No, don't do this crap.
Yeah.
I have a feeling they're gonna dump when this hits their wallets. They're gonna dump and bury them.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, there's so many variables here. It's just bad all around. And classic Jake, you're absolutely right. Are they going to be betting that this movie is more popular, and then if that movie bombs, is it bombing because of the surge pricing, or is it bombing because it's a bad movie, or is it bombing because no one wants to see it?
Yeah, and I can hardly wait till the studios start yelling at them, and they go, "You slit our throat," and the theater goes, "Well, you made a shitty movie."
No.
I remember back in the day when they said, well, this 3D fee is only temporary until because we had to get a new projector. So it's going to only be for like a couple months. And then once you get to pay back, no. It was supposed to be that way. That's what I remember hearing.
It's the same thing the government said about toll roads. It said, oh, the toll fee is only temporary to pay for the road.
40 years later, we're still paying a bridge.
And that's, some of this inflation is that's happening right now around the world, by the way, not just in America, around the world.
It's greedflation, because notice these companies that say they had to raise all these prices, because everything's more expensive for them, they're making record profits.
All the oil companies.
Yeah.
Profits.
Yeah, and if we had a functional government, because when they used to pull this crap, Congress would slam them with a what they used to call a windfall tax.
Yeah.
And, so some of this is, I can understand the justification to a degree. I understand it, I don't like it. But now, the thing is, even after the supply chain gets fixed, let's assume it gets fixed next year. They're never going to go back and down in price. Why? Why would they? The market has eaten up that price. They don't care. They're not going to, we could, put the prices down a little bit. No. Why? Why? It doesn't make any sense. You're gonna keep making more money. Why would you do that? It goes up. It goes up forever. It doesn't really go back down. Gas prices is the one thing that does fluctuate, but you're not going back to the days of 50-cent gallons of milk.
Yeah, I think the myth of the America and the dollar gallon of gas is over.
So yeah, if there's inflation for temporary inflation for movies, that ain't gonna fly.
Yeah.
Yeah, movies are a luxury. Yeah, and everybody knows I love movies, but guess what? This pandemic and all this shit is teaching me I'm enjoying them more and more at home.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like
home videos and home theaters are getting cheaper by the day.
And each streaming is going more and more expensive. They have a startup price and they keep going up and up. And like Netflix, if you get the full 4K, is like $20. That's excessive.
Oh yeah,
content.
Netflix can go fight it. I mean, they're not worth it. They're not worth no $20 a month.
I mean, HBO Max and Paramount Plus both have 4K streams, and they are still their price. They haven't gone up. Well, obviously, they're new, but still, that price you're paying, the $7.99 or whatever, that's including 4K. It's not. Oh well, no, it's including 4K. It's including downloads and stuff.
$7.99 is bad enough. I mean, streaming has gotten to be more expensive than cable ever was.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah. And like Apple, they actually, charge $5 a month, and they actually have 4K, and their 4K streaming quantity is actually looks fantastic because they actually care about bit rates and having the quality. So,
but they have nothing to stream.
Yeah,
Amazon, technically, their streaming is free. Their music used to be free too if you had if you were a Prime member.
I mean, Apple is slowly but surely getting better content. A lot of sci-fi stuff, actually. It's interesting. They're getting new content. It's pretty decent, but still, I mean, it's at least they're charging $5 a month instead of $20, and they get 4K content, and it's like, come on.
Yeah, and if you guys haven't heard yet, Roku did away with their secret channels, which sucks because that was what made Roku interesting. Is that you could set up your own channel.
So yeah, it's just kind of a hard time right now, and we're trying to provide you content here, and all the content recently is really controversial, and we don't always try to have a controversial podcast, but we try to talk about the news, and this is news, and this is important to talk about all these topics, and it's frustrating because I want to talk about happy stuff. I want to be positive. I don't want to continue spreading negativity, but it is what it is. You have to cover the content that's there. So
yeah, we're trying to be as positive. Yeah, we're trying to put the best spin we can on this crap sandwich that we've been dealt.
So yeah, it's just it is what it is, and that's all we could do is we're trying our best to give you content, but I'm sorry if I only give you a podcast a month, but there's not that much going on. I can't, make content come out of my butt. So.
Yeah, unless you really want to hear us gripe about the war now that's on top of the pandemic.
Well, it seems like we're going reverse World War One, where World War One was World War, then pandemic. Now we're going to be pandemic, then World War.
Yeah.
And, it looks like the COVID numbers are going way down, but I don't know about y'all, but I feel like we've already had this conversation twice where, okay, numbers are going down, yay, and then a new variant comes, and then like, oh, damn it. It goes back to being sky high, and then a new variant, and then it goes down, and the new variant comes, and then now it's going back down again. Is there a new variant coming now? I don't know. I don't think so. I haven't heard any real buzz about anything, but still, I don't trust it. I don't trust it. I have trust issues now.
Yeah, especially since I know how herd immunity works, and we didn't get ahead of it like we did with measles. So I guess everybody wants to wait till enough people die that the survivors have immunity, and then the disease peters out because it has no place to grow. Okay.
Yeah, but the thing is, the immunity, even if you get it, doesn't last that long.
Yep.
So,
And yep.
so
And we would have been out of this in 2 months if people did what they were told to do. I mean, yeah, I know Americans don't like to be told what to do, but this was for everybody's good. This was sound science, and they couldn't manage it. And now we're heading into year 3 in this shit.
I mean, maybe things are calming down. I don't want to jinx it, but I just, I see those waves and going up and down, and we're currently on a downward spiral. But I feel like another one's coming, and I just don't trust the number.
Don't think maybe this is the time I should remind people historically when they didn't do anything. These pandemics, endemics, whatever you want to call them, would last a decade or more.
Yeah. So, yeah, it's just kind of, I don't know what else to do. We're trying our best to give you content, but there's no 3D movies coming out. And, like, the 3D movies that we know about, is Morbius a 3D movie or not? I don't know. It all looks like it could be and should be, but we don't know. And it's coming out in, like, 3 weeks. So it's like, I don't know if it's so hard.
January, but who knows in April?
Yeah.
So we're trying here. We're trying to give you the content we can, but we can do what we can. There's only so much. We're human beings.
I'll review 3D Blu-rays if I need to. I'll get the Doolittle Blu-ray next month.
And then I also have to try to make content for the patrons. So it's like, okay, what content do I, how do I split that up? And I don't know. I'm trying, guys. I'm trying. I'm doing what I can.
Let's see if we can find a cheap 3D video camera and we can start making sock puppet shows in 3D.
Yeah. We'll see. At the very least, this 3D show didn't take 3 months to get to news, and it took a couple weeks, so that's good, at least.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens, but I guess that's gonna be it for us. We kind of rambled on and on forever, but we're trying. So, thank you all for listening. Bye.
Bye.
Okay, as this podcast wraps up, I want to thank my patrons. Thank you, Kano3D, Mr. Bengal 5, Kevin Winter, and Alex Folk for your financial support on Patreon.com. So that's going to be it for this podcast. Thanks for listening. You can find 3D or 2D on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, Pinterest, Instagram, and more. Just look for 3D or 2D. Thank you for either listening or watching this podcast. Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.